What's up guys, Magic Knives here, and today I'm bringing to you some AO Tennis 2 gameplay. I'm playing as Nick Kyrgios here, and I'm going to be facing one of his biggest rivals, Rafael Nadal. I'm actually going to be breaking each match into parts just because I like being able to play a full best 2 out of 3 sets, like a real tennis game would be. So I'm not just gonna do like mini games like most game YouTubers are doing. Like I wanna make it as entertaining and as engaging as possible. So I'm gonna do best 2 out of 3 sets, breaking it down into like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 parts depending on how long the match goes, obviously. But yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy for some AO Tennis 2 gameplay to come. This is what I'm gonna be posting for the next little while, just because I'm taking a break from Call of Duty. Nothing's good with Call of Duty right now. So yeah, I figured, yeah, this was something new and exciting for me to pick up. Now, to give you some insight, guys, like I actually used to play a lot of tennis games when I was a kid. I was a tennis player growing up as a kid. I competed in tennis matches when I was a kid, and when it comes to video games, I played Virtua Tennis 3. I played Topspin. The last good tennis game that I had was Topspin 4. And that was on the PS3. That came out in like 2011, I believe, around that. And you couldn't imagine that would be the last good tennis game that would have come out in 9 years ago. Like, it's quite something. Sad that, you know, there never came like a Topspin 5 or something, because I bet you would have been really good. But you know what, we missed out on a lot of tennis games for a lot of years, and finally 2 tennis games came out. This is sort of like the new version of Virtua Tennis and Topspin. So we have Tennis World Tour, and then we have AO Tennis. Unfortunately, I do have to say the first ones that came out were pretty bad. From a lot of critics that played both, they came out really bad. It was a big disappointment. Now as far as the 2 games go, Tennis World Tour 2 and AO Tennis 2 are the big rivals. AO Tennis 2 came out in the beginning of 2020, sorry, and Tennis World Tour 2 came out later in the year, apparently. So now this game's been out, like, as far as AO Tennis 2 is now, it's a little over a year old, so this is sort of the most recent review I can give to you viewers that are thinking about picking up this game. I would say I'm just gonna come out and say it, like, I believe this is the best tennis game in a long time since Topspin 4. And I mean, that's pretty easy to say, because given that, you know, given the fact that there hasn't been any tennis games within the last 9 years at least, and comparing it to Tennis World Tour 2, personally, I think there is much better immersion and realism when it comes to how gameplay looks and feels. Like, in terms of graphics, it's pretty decent. Obviously, it could be a bit better, but I think graphics are better in AO Tennis 2 and compared to Tennis World Tour 2. And I also think that the ability to, you know, a lot of the aspects of this game I really love. Just the look of it. It's like you're watching a real tennis game. Sometimes my mom, when she comes in to watch me game, she thinks she's actually watching a real tennis game going on, which is pretty funny. And I think that just goes to show how good the graphics are in this, which I've come to appreciate, as well as just the immersion, all the stuff like the challenge system, which I'm really happy that they could incorporate that. And in addition, you probably noticed in the beginning they even added the whole feature of the coin toss, which I think was also a nice bonus feature to add. And a couple things that I do like about the game. Well, things I don't like about the game is the game is overall fun. I actually should say that first. The game is overall very fun. Lots of fun to play, even if you don't play online. I'm right now just playing fairly casually. I'm playing I'm just playing against the AIs. But generally speaking, the game is very fun. The only thing is though is that the game can be fun, but also pretty frustrating at the times. And that's mainly due to the gameplay controls and the settings that it is originally set at. I had to mess around with the controls quite a bit in the settings to get the most ideal, satisfying gameplay and like just smoothness of the controls. For one, sometimes your character will move when you don't want it to move, or it won't move at all. And I had to set assisted movement completely to 0, and even so, your character still moves on its own sometimes. And they do that just so you can, be in a position to have an easier time to hit the ball, which I get. But sometimes it screws you over. Times when you want to move, you just don't move at all, and that really sucks. I mean, in some cases, it's more acceptable, especially when you're like on returning serve and you're trying to guess which direction your opponent's gonna go. But so then it's easier for them to get aces. But other times, like during like a slow rally or something like that, and all of a sudden your character just doesn't move or react, it's pretty frustrating. Especially sometimes like, you're going for a ball and then you just end up running the complete opposite direction, or you're just like side shuffling when you wanted to go full sprint. It's kind of frustrating. So I mean, the kind of funny feature in this game too is that you can actually like throw rackets virtually, like, or you can congrats your opponent too. So I throw a lot of virtual rackets in this. Being the Kyrgios and whatnot. But yeah, like I love the immersion of it overall. It can be frustrating at times, but once you get a hang of the timing and so forth, I say it's a pretty fun game overall. Yeah, there's quite a few bugs. The AI doesn't make a lot of unforced errors, but honestly, I think that's just the only way to make the game more challenging. As if you're just gonna be playing against the AI, that's just what you have to accept, Because if they made more errors, you would just end up winning too easily, even on the more difficult settings. Honestly, too, I had to disable stamina because I felt like that also impacted how well your character was able to move around. So unfortunately, I had to disable stamina just to reduce the amount of times my player would get stuck or just refuse to run towards the ball, and then keep the assisted movement down to 0, like I said. And otherwise, like right now, I have the difficulty setting at semi-pro. So I mean, I can't just win. Like, when I first started, I was at amateur level, and obviously got the hang of it, and soon started getting too easy to beat the AI, so I bumped it up to semi-pro now. So this is the level I'm playing at right now, and I like it now, so at least the AI can actually win a few games, at least a few games against me each set, or sometimes makes me have to try harder to win. So yeah, I mean, it's good to have a little bit of challenge when you're playing just against the AI, right? So other than that, guys, like, again, I think personally this is the best tennis game out right now since Topspin 4, and that's not that hard to say given it's one of the only few tennis games out there right now. Yeah, there's quite a few bugs, but you can't have it all, I guess, with a tennis game that's not the most popular sports game to play. And hopefully though, you know, they took the steps in the right direction, I believe, with this. And hopefully whenever the next tennis game comes out, if they come out with another one, it'll be, even 10 times better than this, which I think they're heading in the right direction. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this tennis match that I have coming up for you in multiple parts. So hope to see you guys in my future videos. Take care, guys.